If you're thinking about getting holiday plants as gifts, well, now's the time to get them potted. Our 5-minute gardener, Debbie Mounts from Harlow Gardens, joins us now with a holiday favorite.
Good afternoon, Debbie Mounts, our 5-minute gardener, here again today. Okay, well, it is the beginning of November, and we're already starting to think about holidays, and there are a couple plants that are really known as holiday gift plants. One of those is Paperwhite Narcissus. Now I'm going to show you how to plant a wonderful bowl of paperwhites with a little field of grass on top, that little extra something. Now I have paperwhite bulbs here. One of the tricks when you pick out your bulbs, make sure that it's firm and has some weight to the bulb. And I'm just going to put a lot of bulbs right down in this pot. As you plant them, you just want the tip of the bulb to be sticking up above the soil. And you can have the bulbs actually touching as you plant them. So in this kind of a pot, you can actually plant a lot of bulbs because they don't look very good if there's not a good show. So the more the better is my motto. Anyway, so we're going to get these little guys in here and tuck them down in there like that. And we're going to put just one more right in the middle right now. So now I've got these buried. This is all you really need to do with these. I've got these planted and buried. Now what I'm going to do is I have ryegrass seed. Now this is a trick. It's so fun because what happens is the paperwhites start to bloom. They put up their shoots and then they bloom in about 6 weeks. But when you put the ryegrass seed on top of it, it looks like they're coming up out of a little field of grass, as if you found them when you were walking through the woods. There's not too many woods in Tucson, but that might happen. Anyway, so all I'm going to do is take a little bit of our ryegrass seed and sprinkle it right on the surface of the soil. All right, just like that. And then I'm going to come back and cover it up a little bit with some soil here. It doesn't have to be totally covered, especially if you grow this outside. You can set it on your patio and water it just about, maybe once a week or so. The grass, do it every little tiny bit every day to get it to come up. And it'll be fabulous in about 6 weeks' time.
I love paperwhites too. They're so pretty.
They are pretty.
Yeah, and you brought some interesting containers to put paperwhites in and give as gifts.
Yes. Well, there's 2 ways to grow paperwhites. You can do it like I did in the segment, where you put them in soil and there's a hole in the container and the water drains out. Okay. The other way to do it is to actually grow them in water. So the fun thing I think to do at Christmas is to find a really fun container of some kind, and you put stone in the container and water in the container and put the paperwhite in it. So what I did here is I just have this fun coffee cup that would be a fun gift for somebody who likes to drink coffee or tea, and I've just put some red stones like marbles in there with the paperwhite. Now the trick is, when you put the paperwhite in here, you want the water to just barely touch the bottom of the bulb. You don't want the water coming up along the side. Okay. And even if you had a little space between the water and the bottom of the bulb, that would be okay. If too much water gets on them, it'll rot the bulb out. Right. But the paperwhite roots are really strong and thick, so they can start to will really fill the bottom of this cup and then kind of start to push. But you can, like I said in the other segment, you can put a bunch of them together if you have a bigger container. I have a cat dish here. It'd be fun to put like 4 of them in there with some stones, and just put a little bit of water in them about once a week, just enough to encourage those roots to grow.
Yeah, and when the flowers die?
When the flowers die, you can take the bulb out, and what you want to do is let the stems on the flowers dry naturally, because the process of that stem and those flowers drying pulls energy into the bulb for next year's bloom. So you can kind of set it in a fun, like on a shelf or someplace, and let it dry up naturally and put it aside, and you can do it again next year.
And you can drink your coffee out of your mug.
Yes, and you can also stick it in your garden if you want to.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, Debbie, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.